this be a normal field trip? With a friend? No way!
Cruising on down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good. Next
Magic School Bus Space Exploration for the Genesis. I know what you're thinking, educational game. Easy target, right? And you are right, it is an educational game, it is an easy target. However, I'm going to acknowledge that it's made for kids, it's a kids game. And so rather than waste your time complaining about how easy or boring it is, I'm simply going to talk about the more quirky parts of the game. But first, I'm going to explain how this game works. When you first start the game, you get a map of all 9 planets in the solar system. At first, you can only go to one place, the Moon, which, you know, isn't a planet, but I guess it sort of makes sense. Anyway, once you choose the planet you want to go to, the blackboard is filled with facts about the planet. Then Miss Frizzle fades away and appears outside in space and then flies away. It's then your mission to follow her and get her back. So then we end up in the Magic School Bus navigating towards the planet. However, the bus driving stages are more or less on rails. At this point, the only thing that you can actually do is just take photos of objects passing by, which are followed by quick explanations of what the object is. Most of the time, these objects have some sort of relevance with the planet. For example, satellites or rockets, the moons of the planet, or the planet itself. Other times, they're just random objects that have no relevance with the planet at all, or they're just some cheap pun like a cheese wheel and going to the moon. In the middle of the bus driving stages, suddenly the camera turns into a crosshair and the words "Warning, asteroids" appears. Now you have to shoot at the asteroids that approach. However, I find it more fun to just ram into the asteroids. You don't get penalized for it, besides some comment made about your driving.
Where did you learn to fly?
All that happens is you lose speed, which you can then increase again by holding down the B button. Eventually you get back to taking photos. Then the planet will slowly peek in from the left, even if it just floated to the right a few seconds ago. Then you're in this landing ship thing. You have to try and find the landing base. When you do land on it, you get this irritating sound. It's at this point when you finally start to explore the planet. The game turns into a side-scroller and your main objective is to go from one side of the map to the other. Once you do, you'll find Miss Frizzle. You might think your mission is over now, but the game now wants you to play a few puzzle games first. The first one is Shuffle, in which you have to put the pieces in the right place. It's easy enough. The second one is Matching Pairs, where you have to match the pictures to the words. This is where the taking the pictures and reading the explanations comes in handy. Once you've finished the puzzles, you're back to the classroom. Now other planets are unlocked, in which you pretty much do the exact same thing. Well, that's the game, but what about the quirky stuff I was talking about? Let's start with the gas planets. Obviously you can't walk or land on a gas planet. With Saturn they get away with it because you can walk on Saturn's rings. However, with the rest of them... yeah, the clouds. However, though you can land on the clouds, apparently you can't walk on them. Instead, you walk on these floating silver basketballs that appear all throughout the game. At first I thought you were supposed to avoid them in the driving stages because they sort of explode when they hit the bus. But no, you're actually supposed to collect them for points. If you get all of them in the walking stages, you get an extra life. These really big ones are for standing on, apparently. And there are 3 bonus games. All of them are accessible from the main menu, or from collecting a certain amount of different items in the game. The first one is Astro Blaster, which you can access in-game by shooting the gold asteroids. It is, in essence, an asteroids clone with a glaring flaw that would take way too long to try and explain. It's nothing special. The second bonus game is called Reflector. You can access it in-game by collecting 10 of these stars. I don't know where the name comes from, but regardless, this is probably the most fun aspect of the entire game, because it's just a standard but fairly well-made Breakout clone. I mean, what other game could you play and then tell people, I played Breakout with silver basketballs, planets, and meteors? The third bonus game is called Orbiter. I actually have no idea how to access it in-game. The idea is that you're supposed to shoot all 9 planets into their respective orbit. If you get it wrong, you either shoot the planets off-screen or they'll be pulled into the sun. Which is pretty funny, but there's not really much else to say about this one. The ending to this game is enough to make certain gamers cry. If I were certain other gamers, I might make a big deal out of this statement. But I'm not, so I'm gonna instead leave you with this. This is probably my favorite part of the game. While driving to the planet Saturn, you may notice a black box pass by. If you're anything like me, in the back of your mind you'd be thinking, that kinda looks like, a Saturn, as in the console, but no, they wouldn't put that in. Then you take a photo of it and then realize that yes, indeed, it is a Saturn, getting advertised to kids in an educational game. Amazing. Thanks for watching.